There's three main ways to make Lucent outside of swiping, and I'm going to show you all of my secrets that are making me anywhere between 800 to 1,000 Lucent a day right now. Extracting traits is the most beginner-friendly way to actually acquire Lucent, but there are many ways of obtaining gear for these traits that aren't exactly upfront and clear, so we are going to talk about that. Now, trait extraction allows you to actually destroy an item in return for an auctionable scroll. So if I go to this Guardian Torque, I go to trait extraction, I click extract, I'm going to get this scroll that I can then go and sell in the auction house. But not all traits are created equal. To check the current value of a trait, you actually want to click on it, go to trait list, and depending on what it is, skill damage boost, we want to click the little auction house icon right next to it. Once that opens, you can find the cheapest, same quality, same item, and see that this one sells for 90. In this case, all we're going to do is go over to our sell tab, and any auctionable items will be already lit up. We're just going to go ahead and click on it. It'll tell us right here what the lowest current available price is, and we're just going to set it one lower. Click accept, it's going to confirm. Now, whatever Lucent you're selling for, it's just going to cost that in Solant, which is literally nothing. Then we'll click accept, and it will list. Extracting traits requires the trait extraction stone. Now, there are many different ways to acquire this, and none of them require swiping. The first one we're going to talk about is actually the battle pass. But if we go into the Zenus's star shop, we can see that we can very easily get bundles of 10 stones for 50 currency. Likewise, if we go into the actual swiper store on the left side, if we go down to ornate coins, you can see we can get a trait extraction stone for 5 ornate coins. When it comes to ornate coins, you get these by collecting the mysterious books or the codex pages scattered around town, scattered around the world. You can go in your storage chest to see if you have any active Twitch drops, or you can go in your mail, as every time they do a downtime on the server, they're going to send you hundreds of these coins for free. If you go up to the contract coin merchant and scroll all the way down, you'll see that you have a weekly limit of 420 trait extraction stones, and they're extremely cheap, only 7 apiece. The contract coin merchant also sells these mystic keys, which will allow you to access mystic globes around the world. Opening these globes has a chance to give you up to, at least my cap, is 8 trait extraction stones per big red glowing orb. Now that we have a renewed, healthy supply of 164 trait extraction stones, we can talk about all of those sneaky ways to get gear and get traits extracted so you can seriously start farming Lucent. Go ahead and find the guild merchant. Go up and talk to him. As long as your guild is level 10, which is extremely easy, it certainly should be, you can acquire an unlimited supply of the rare special weapon selection chest just by spending your guild coins. If you go into your actual guild tab, go down to rewards, you will see that you have some chests over here to collect and possibly a big guild treasure chest that you can acquire. Now, you can do this by going into guild contracts and seeing which contracts are active. The more you participate, the bigger your rewards and the more guild currency that you get. Regardless, back at the guild merchant, you can buy these rare special weapon selection chests. Now, once you purchase these, you are actually going to choose what you want out of them. I've been going for either the grinding greatsword or the shattering sword, as if you proc a crit chance, heavy attack chance, or max health on a golem shattering sword, you are in for a lot of Lucent. Go and see what we got. In this case, we got hit chance. Now let's just go ahead and trait extract. Boom, there you go. Now we have this guy. The equipment merchant in every single town has a use that's extremely important. If you go to a merchant and you see a little lithograph book above here, that means you do need it, and it has a chance to give you stuff from your lithograph book. So if we go ahead and buy all of these right here, and then go ahead and open up our lithograph book, it'll automatically tell us what we just bought and where it goes. You'll see here that it rewards these quality lithograph for accessories, armor, and so many other things that are needed to craft green armor. Taking what we have over to, say, the accessories crafter, and you can check the auction house to see which one sells for more before you do this, but we can go ahead and go and craft one of these. Now, it really just matters what trait we get on this. Health regen is absolutely terrible. So if we go to the trait list, yeah, even the epic health regens are only 140. Absolutely terrible proc. The misconception is that at level 50, when you're farming open world dungeons, you should be farming things like Shadowed Crypt. And yes, that's true if you're someone that wants to farm the rubrics, which we will talk about in a moment. But if you're someone that is just farming traits, you're going to have a much better time farming something like the Abyss second floor, where you can easily go through and pull like 10 to 15 of something and then just AoE them down. Your drop chances on these green items, which there are a lot more of in general, are a lot better. On the other side of the coin, we do have the high level dungeons, and let me be very, very clear. If you have the contracts for Shadowed Crypt, you 100% should be doing those before you go farm the lower level green traits. While you will have a better chance at getting traits in the lower level dungeons, having the Abyss tokens and all of the other goodies that come from those contracts are far more important and will, in the long run, if you so choose, make you much more Lucent. In the level 50 dungeons like the Shadowed Crypt, we're mainly going in for these precious gems. Now you can directly sell these gems on the auction house. I believe the precious rubrics is about 198 Lucent each, and they do have a much better drop chance than the gear in here. There are many ways to actually manipulate the rubrics from the auction house to the auction house to make even more, and you can literally just make money by sitting in the auction house screen. It's kind of crazy. Crafting one of these will allow you to directly imprint an epic weapon onto them, making it sellable on the auction house, and this is where you start earning thousands, if not tens of thousands of Lucent. Items on the auction house that have this border are simply traits for that item. Purchasing this for 140 Lucent will not give you the weapon. However, purchasing one of these without the border will indeed give you a weapon. You can see that the price difference can be extreme. 140 for this, but 14.9 thousand for this. And you may say, well, these never sell. You can actually see the stats by clicking on it or hovering over it and seeing recent quantity sold, 29. It's sold for as high as 15,000 and sold for as low as 4,000. These do sell, and you can make a ton of Lucent off of them without ever swiping. Traits from any of these heroic weapons, if you see max health being 800 Lucent, that's very, very lucrative for something you can get extremely free. You see, all of these heroic weapons have a chance to come from your weekly missions. These weekly missions right here. Now, you do have a better percent chance in world. If you click the little percentage sign next to any of these, you can see you actually have a 2% to 10% chance to get one of these heroic weapons from here. However, if we go to, say, guild, the percent chances are much, much lower. So when prioritizing, do these world quests. Something kind of sneaky with the weapon crafter or any of the crafters in the auction house is the fact that you can craft these that can be sold with the rares. And sometimes at night, you can find the rare rubrics, at least on my server, for right around 13 each. Now, if I can buy 5 of these for 13 each, that's 65 Lucent that I'm spending, and turn around and sell them for 198. Even after the 22% tax, taking it down to 158, I'm spending 65, I'm getting 158. That is a massive margin just by watching the auction house. Here's a perfect example. We know 5 qualities make a rare and 5 rares make a precious, but I can buy 5 rares right now for 10 Lucent and I can sell a precious for 198. Or, of course, what I just bought for 10, I can go right on here, sell for 29. Even after the 20% tax, I'm going to get 23-ish, which means that's a 13 Lucent profit, more than 100%. Making Lucent in this game is extremely easy, whether you want to grind in the open world, grind in dungeons, or just grind in a city sitting in the auction house screen. There is a ton of ways for anyone to make a ton of Lucent. Really, any way that you can acquire gear, whether it's green, blue, or purple, is a way that you can be making Lucent. And with so many ways to actually get the trait stones, it's not hard at all to do a ton of extractions all of the time. You can get hundreds and hundreds of these stones just from the ornate coins that the game will send you in the mail for free, or you can find scattered all throughout the world. There's a tons of ways to make Lucent, or a ton of ways rather. It's just depending on how you want to grind for it. You never need to swipe though.